What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. Just to let y'all know, I am definitely back active on my Facebook again. So, any of y'all that's on Facebook, y'all want to hit me with a friend request, that will be good. I'm not going to put together a Facebook group because, I need to be in the Discord more. So yeah, but we're gonna have some fun. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing some things to get this stuff promoted. Also, I'll be sharing my Instagram as well. So we're gonna be putting together these little memes, these photos, having some fun. And the link I shared this link in the the description as well as in my community tab of the one I'm gonna comment on really quick. And I know I always say that, and it's an hour, but this is gonna be. I don't see this being past like 30 minutes, if that. I need to start keeping this stuff short because I'm about to start doing uploads. We're about to start making it hot. It's gonna be a good channel. Um, let's do some order of business. This is where this stuff is going, just to let you know. The YouTube channel is gonna be a storefront. Okay. So the YouTube channel, so there's gonna be a couple of different strategies that I deploy. This channel is gonna be part like news, trending news. It's gonna be part education, insight gang. And as far as the live streams will still continue, but the live streams, a lot of the live streams, once they go live, will be on my Patreon, so they will be unlisted. So just keep that in mind. I'm not gonna do it immediately. I'll give y'all like a day or two, because I don't want y'all having to jump to the Patreon, not, but just know that's where they are. A lot of the channel, as the way you see the channel right now, me really going in, being raw, that stuff is going to be exported to the Patreon. Again, the Patreon is free. If you want to pledge, you can pledge what you want. Much appreciated. I'm at 25 Patreons, so it's really good. So it is what it is. But just keep in mind, there's going to be some changes, and I've been talking about that a long time. So keep in mind when they happen, it's going to be happening rapid, and that's what's going on. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie. The show, probably that live stream the Lapeef Network did is probably gonna be one of my favorite live streams of that they've done, because that, like, pretty much, if that was like what the conversation generally was, their stuff would actually be really good. And it's not so much that the men are coming down on the women; it's that these men are asking them questions, and then a lot of the women they can't really segue, zig to zag, so they got to really say what they really think. In this conversation, it was a conversation where they were talking about, men basically telling men that they're friends with, or they have relationships with, long term friendships. If they with a female that has a kid, or they're talking to a woman that has a kid, basically enforcing the standard, or just saying like, are you really doing that? You really about to get serious with that? And it was interesting how, at first, a lot of the ladies at first, all of them were pretty much on some, particularly one, Island Girl Q, talking about it's really none of your business. And then Chicago Rilla came and said, well, yeah, it is his business because that's my boy. So I want to see him be successful, and that's not conducive of success. And because dudes want a legacy. And it's interesting how you'll hear women talk about men need to hold men accountable, but which is code for men need to enforce what women want. But if men hold men accountable to something that's not in what the woman wants, then that's, oh, he needs to mind his own business. When women, particularly women in general, black women in particular, they always do that. You got women that they'll have sex with certain dudes and not show them to their friends because they very much care about what their friends think, to the point where that shit actually keeps them out of marriages. That shit actually fucks up their marriages. And it is a complete imbalance. This is why I say that the black community is a gynocracy, because black men are not grouped up or clicked up for our own agenda like that. They just aren't. But women have a whole ecosystem and reinforcement mechanism to push their own agenda within the community, outside the community, to keep women from being wayward, which is why, shout out to Crimson Cure, she talk about why a lot of black women don't like the femininity movement. And this is stuff that you see up and down, and people aren't looking at that. So that was just an interesting point there. Then the point got on to kids, got on to women not liking men with kids. Okay, understand something, ladies, stop lying. You're lying when you say that. Goofy niggas don't understand that, but niggas that's in the know understand that. And I'm talking for somebody that don't have kids. We know with the right price, that shit doesn't matter. Let me tell you what the right price is. Men don't give a fuck about really being in a relationship with you. Men only care about really having sex with you. And if we have sex with you, any of the other stuff, time investment that comes with that is, but really that's what we care about. At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. Straight up. This is why dudes have no problem being the side dude, because they're getting the best benefits without the time issues of, like, without the issue. This is why women don't really like being side pieces. They always want to be upgraded to the number one versus men don't care about that. Men only care about that to the extent of the danger that could present to their person, depending on the dude that the chick is initially with. But other than that, they don't care about that. This is why. So when women say things like, I don't want a man with kids, understand it may be true. And even then, I say most of the time when women say this is cap. But it may be true you don't want to be in a relationship with a man that has children, because at that point you're talking about baby mama drama and a whole bunch of other stuff. But if you're talking about giving a man sexual access, if you're talking about having sex with a man, if you're talking about, like, you know him and you fucking, you know, these situationships, these fucking micro entanglement bullshit, we know you're lying. It's particularly in the black community, but this is true across the board in America. We know you're lying. It's a lie. And honestly, it's a tell for dudes that are in the know versus dudes that are not in the know. Because in the black community, if you don't have children, if you're over 30, let's say you're 32 without kids. If you're a black man, you're 32 without kids. Most black women, and this is not just 304s, this is 92s as well. Now, 92s may have different priorities, so it's not as prominent, but they're thinking this as well, because all these chicks default to this kind of ratchet center of gravity today. That's a commentary on your virility. Unless you're hitting like the visual cues that these women want, if you're kind of like iffy, or you're not in that solidly in that visual cue pre-qualified mode, I'm talking about in the mind of that chick, you hoes not being around you, you not having kids, which is a sign of hoes being around you, that is a pre-qualification thing for women. Now, this is fucked up, but this is very true. That's not some young shit either. Now, they don't say it all the time, but there's certain looks women give. I've had it brought up. And it ain't just low class bitches. It's not. They be really thinking that shit. And it's women of a lot of different levels. They really be thinking that. So whenever I hear a woman say that, the first thing I want to say is, so you're telling me you have never had sex with a man that has kids? No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so you're saying that if a dude likes, if you like the way a dude looks, you are sexually attracted, that pussy is wet, you find out he got kids, that shit's dry. That's what you're telling me. You're not gonna fuck. You're telling me that the difference between that nigga fucking and not fucking his kids. That's what you're telling me. That's a lie. We all know that's a lie. I don't even know why women say that shit. Well, I do know why they say it. That's that false, equality bullshit. Men don't want women with kids. Women don't want men with kids. Men don't really have a problem having sex with single mothers. What men are essentially saying is, we're not trying to commit to women with kids because that's a package deal. That's what Chicago was articulating, but because folks wanted to be in there, they want to, how women like to spin off into orbit because they think they're right, so they start really getting a little bit belligerent because they think they're right on this segment, but they're taking shit out of context. And then Island Girl brought up Chicago on fucking Russell Wilson and Future, because Chicago asked, do you think there's honor in being a stepfather? And the women basically said yes, but of course they're going to say yes because that's what's in their best interest. He didn't ask the question. He could have asked the question better. He should have asked, do you think that men consider it honorable? Because of course the women are going to consider it honorable, because for them that gives them the greatest amount of resources, no matter if they have kids. So of course women are never going to not be on the table for dealing. You have women that you have women where they want to have kids and then say they don't want dudes with kids. They will outright say that. That is not like abnormal to say that. But anyway, going back to it, it eventually kind of came to Russell Wilson and Ciara. And they wanted to like shit on Future and say Future's not in that kid's life and a check don't mean shit. And these are all three of these women don't got kids. They don't got kids. So they're just talking out their ass. They're just talking from their the women that they know situations. And it's like, oh well, you know, Future ain't in the life and all that. So we supposed to go with everything what Ciara is saying, but I'm not even gonna argue that. The point is, Future had three baby mamas before he met Ciara. Ciara, but we know women control sexual access. We know, and Ciara was a hot commodity. Ciara could have got a lot of different folks at the time when she got Future. She was already fucking with 50 and a lot of other niggas that had kids. In fact, if you look at most of the chicks that most of the dudes Ciara dealt with outside of Bow Wow, which a lot of people don't even count that, they all had kids. So that kid shit doesn't mean shit. And Ciara is considered a very high you know, we'll call her a high value woman from the perspective of the hierarchy that women place her, right? And we know Ciara had status, we know Ciara had looks, we know Ciara has at least the family pedigree. So, you know, for the sake of argument, we're gonna call it that. And so she volunteered, and not only did she volunteer for Future, that was always going to be the case because 50 had like 2 baby mamas at the time. That was always going to be the case. So she knew that, and she didn't force Future to marry her like she did Russell. I don't know who Young Dolph is. I'm sorry. So again, women care about we need to look, it is what it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't. We're talking about outcomes here. We're not talking about, oh well, you should pick this person or pick that person. But let's stop fronting like with the right nigga with the right game means the right nigga as far as how he looks with the right mouthpiece. And usually the looks come and the mouthpiece just not to fuck it up, because that is a very genetic currency, is a very strong commodity for women. Just like when we talk about these niggas, we know genetic currency is strong for these niggas. So when niggas start getting money, they start sexual access is a currency, because sexual access is not guaranteed. A woman can open her legs and some dick is going to fall into it. This is why we know black women fuck white men a lot more than non-black men a lot more than what gets said, but they're not in relationships with y'all like that. So it don't count, because that's when they have to make a decision and they're not making that. So women try to equalize it. But going back to Future, they were trying to shit on Future saying he's not around his kid, all this bullshit. And then say he's paying child support, but that don't matter. His time is this. But I'm like, again, Ciara volunteered for that. Ciara knew what that was, and she chose to engage with him, deal with him, not get married, all of that. And she got lucky with Russ. She got lucky with Russell Wilson. She got lucky. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. If Russell wouldn't have did it, that she wouldn't have got nobody of that caliber. She wouldn't have got nobody else of that caliber. She may have got a dude with the genetic currency of making a little bit of money, but not no money this morning what the fuck she's making. That's luck on her end. That's part of it is luck. Part of it is her knowing how. It's like when you run, if you run plays and you get into the right situation, like a 2-minute drill, and because you're good at 2-minute drills, you know how to run that shit. That's what that is. So I'm not gonna take no effort away from her, but that's why when she talks about that shit like prayer and shit, I'm like, you lying to these bitches, because you're not gonna pray your way into getting saved like that. You're not. Because most of these females, because understand something, I'm gonna say something with this. Here's the secret to prayer. I remember I used to ask pastors, how do you know prayer works? And it took me like 30 pastors before one actually had an answer. Prayer is a lot like The Secret. It basically focuses your subconscious mind to pay attention to things that it otherwise wasn't paying attention to. So you start to see things you don't see. I.e., if you buy a car, you start noticing a lot more of the cars that look like your car. Why? Because you have this car. So your brain is calibrated. That's what prayer does. But you still have to take action. What prayer does is enhance your awareness to things. But if you're not taking action, and your mind isn't really in the mode of taking action, you're not going to see what you ultimately need to see. So when people keep talking about I pray, so when you say you pray for something, what you're essentially doing is calibrating your brain to be aware of it. But see, the problem is prayer can't override all that other bullshit that has funneled into your mindset, that feminism, that gynocentric stuff. Remember, Sierra came from a two-parent household. So Sierra might have been slumming, but and she may have slummed too much to the point where she had a baby out of it. But the truth is, Sierra still had that anchor, which is her upbringing. If you don't have that upbringing as an anchor, you have nothing that you can kick back to. You can't reset to anything. So you're not getting. So this is why women are talking about going into femininity shit. I need to heal. I need to be celibate. When in a situation, they go into peaceful situations and they're anti-peace. They're pro-chaos. This is why women are always talking about shit is boring and everything, because they can't fucking sit the fuck still. They always got to be in the mix. They always got to be drama. You're addicted to drama, drama queen, hyper stimulated. This is where that damn Real Housewife shit, the social media shit, everything's got to be hyper emotionally stimulated. So dudes that are not on some fuckboy shit, on some free bird shit, on some like paper flying with the wind shit, always in the mix, always getting in trouble. When you deal with dudes, consequences are real and immediate. Though the niggas that are not like that are considered squares and considered boring. And that some of these niggas are boring. But some of it is these dudes just operate within a structured standpoint, which is, as men being illogical creatures, is what we do. And then when you grow up in a community of niggas that are really not doing shit because they're socialized to just be pretty for bitches, well, then you get what you get. But back to what I was saying. They really wanted to hammer that. And they wanted to talk about, oh, well, these niggas are not with these kids. And it's like, yo, like, first of all, they've even on that show, they've had conversations about that. So I don't know where all that basic bitch shit came from. You know, oh, these niggas ain't with these kids. Like, and then Chicago Real was like, well, how do you know that? And he was trying to put Sierra in it, but the reality is he was talking more in general. How do you know that these men are not being denied access to their kids? Now that's a foreign concept to these women, but they kept on wanting to, this is that bad faith shit. They kept on wanting to talk about Sierra. And then they made the comment of, oh, well, if a boy is calling another man daddy, that means you ain't there. That's not true. And you could tell these women don't got kids because they're talking out their ass. They're talking out their ass. And then it started with this boy, and then the chick Island girl, because Kayla was like, I don't got kids, so I don't want nobody with kids. Which is bullshit. You're not gonna tell me you ain't fucked the nigga that's got kids. You're not. You're not. Because a lot, we know the man sharing it goes on in their black community. Now, you may not be in an official long-term relationship or take that shit serious. Fine. I'll give you that. But that bullshit, what matters is, are you fucking? And Island girl was like, well, you know, as I've gotten older, I've grown. It's not about growing. You realize that the niggas with the dick a lot of times got kids. That's what it is. It ain't that you grew and you got wiser. It's that you're not going to put those options off the fucking table. You also realize those dudes may be willing to negotiate a little bit more. And then another thing that Kayla said that I don't consider it honorable if you got kids and you with a female with kids. At the end of the day, that man still has to invest in that woman more than that woman has to invest in that man. So yes, men can have kids and it's not looked at the same way as women having kids, because again, women operate on different standards. And the thing that Kayla and them, the thing that they were trying to talk about is they were trying to make it sound like most black women, or at least half of black women, or even 40% of black women have this mindset. This is a lie. This is not a misconception. This is not, you don't know. This is a lie. I know any female that says that is a liar, or they're dumb. If they're either a liar or they're not qualified to even be in a conversation, because they are not aware of what their situation, their surroundings are. They're not. These women are fucking these niggas with kids. Let's cut the bullshit. You all are not going to take niggas that you like how they look. And we know this because we know a lot of the kids, outside of the 33% of dudes that are married, a lot of the kids that are being seated in the black community are being seated by a minority of black men. That we know this. We know this. So a lot of these conversations is like, okay, if we're going to have it, let's have it. Now, granted, you can't just freeze everything because then these chicks ain't going to want to participate. But we know what's going on. And so when you talk this stuff out of context, you think because you got this round, it's like, no, 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 no. You can't just pick and choose what you want to insert in the stuff. Understand, most niggas ain't Russell Wilson, most bitches ain't Sierra. So let's stop trying to like use that. The reality is, you the reality is most dudes that have value are not about to unless they're older, like you dealing with a 50-year-old to a 38-year-old or some shit like that, or a 40-year-old to like a 27-year-old or some shit like that. They're not doing that unless it's economic reason, and that's that 50-50 partnership. You mad and you 50-50 because you broke shit. That's when that comes into play, because now it's binding economics together. But dudes that got their shit together to the point where they got, as Love Dorsey would call it, their basics together, they got their looks and their self-improvement together, they don't need to do that shit. Nipsey was on his way to being A-list, but he wasn't. Nipsey was definitely A-list in the hip hop in the black community though, and he was on his way. I don't know why y'all got this dude in my chat. Like I don't know this dude, but you know, Costa equals Sierra. I don't know what you mean, Kareem. But yeah, Karina, Karen, greetings, my girl. Your content is on point. Great job. An antisocialite. Maybe it's because I'm looking at this stuff. Marty McFly, trying to build my channel as well as a music relaxing channel. Rebrand mix with my music and Colombian videos. Marty, what you need to do is just do a travel channel. I would do a travel channel first. That's what I would do. I would do a travel channel with a specific focus on Latin America. Do that, and then like do the relaxing channel, and then push people to the relaxing channel by way of that. That'll be a better ticket, because that'll drive a lot of views. And then do like a trending news travel that you'll probably grow. Let's see, Dardar. They're lying in their hip. Yeah, they are. Well, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Art New Style. Alpha Omega, the more kids he has, the better. Yeah, that's how a lot of women see it. Now that's more associated with low class females, but upper class females do it too. And again, I'm not saying this to point my finger. I'm saying this for just to say this is what the inputs in that reflect the outcomes. That's what it is, and the process is the mindset. I'll smash a 10304 with kids, my best side piece, but never main piece. I mean, the thing about it is, like, we're talking about sexual access. Men don't really care about relationships like that. Sexual access is what they care about. Yeah, I'm not gonna say they don't want relationships at all, but sexual access is what matters, and women know this. That's the negotiating chip. Women are the ones that they want to be invested in, and a relationship is the mechanism by which that generally happens. So that's basic. So when we argue some of these things, that's why women have different priorities when it comes to that. So when women, usually, yes, it's true that some women don't want to deal with baby mama drama and all that. Absolutely. You see that with NBA Youngboy. But this idea that women are not sharing men, that's bullshit. Now, it may not be you, fine, I'll give you that. But don't try to act like that's not the norm. That's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit. Now, maybe y'all ain't in full-blown relationships with these motherfuckers, but we just got off into the baby situation. Stop it. That's all I'm saying. Stop. We're too old to be playing. Like, this is some shit that like 20 women 22 and under will be saying. Oh no, Kareem said Ed Future was engaged to Costa, just a correction for accuracy. Okay, they didn't get married. Engaged. Kareem, I will accept the correction, but they did, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count because they never got married. Now, granted, I will say this too. I will give you, they may not have got married because Future was a cheater, but you knew that shit going in. So I will give you that. But she still had the kid before she got married. Technically. So technically, what I'm saying is still valid. But your notes are worth noting. Edward Anderson, what do you mean you don't know? No, I don't know. Who is Young Dolph? I don't know who that is. I'm not, look, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been out of the hip hop game. Like, really, one of the things that I gotta do in my kind of, as I get more into this celebrity stuff, because really, this is what my goal is. My goal is to take my mindsets and wrap my lessons and stuff like that and wrap it around these situations. So use these situations as things that reflect some of the things that I say. That's like my content strategy. But I also got to know about these people's situations. So I depend on other channels that I know can really game me up on certain people quickly. And I'm not just talking about the typical Jada Blacks and stuff like that. I'm talking about ones that can give me whole like deep dives. Because like I told you, I'll listen to these people's channels at like 1.5, 2.0 playback speed and absorb the information. The news broke an hour ago. He's bigger than. Okay. I mean, I don't know these young rappers. I didn't even know the baby like that until they put him in commercials. I knew it by face. I don't know these niggas. Man, anybody outside of 2015, I don't know like that. Future was like the last real motherfucker. Like straight up. And you talk about news that broke an hour ago. Costa equals Sierra. I mean, I don't know why you act like Sierra's a name you can't say. Tampa, Sierra could get my man, can get any man she want, Ed. That's not true. That's not true. She could get sex. Just like how Rihanna can get sex from a lot of men. Ain't nobody marrying her ass. No, she can't. That's not true. Not in the like Masters of the Universe like 100 octane shit. I mean, Carrie Hilson looks better than Sierra. Look at how she's struggling. If you talk about dudes that are millionaires and shit, millions upon millionaires, no, that's not true. Well, yeah, a lot of these rappers be getting killed off social media stuff. Appreciate that, JC. Okay. Y'all know my channel ain't no hip hop channel. Why y'all hold me accountable like I'm my channel's a hip hop channel or some shit? I ain't converted this shit yet, and this shit ain't never gonna be a hip hop channel. Like that. Y'all hold me accountable. Y'all trying to hold me accountable to fuck no, he isn't bigger than Nipsey never was. The only reason he was in the news the past 5 years because he got shot at 100 times and survived. Y'all ain't shit. Like that's bullshit. And I'm just saying, I'm like, cut the cap because it wastes time. Cut the cap. Why are we capping? Oh, I don't like. Oh, I don't. It don't matter what you don't like. We're not talking about what you don't like. We're talking about how women operate in our community in general. And the truth is, women ain't leaving no good dick on the table just because a nigga happens to have a kid. They're not doing it. Now, will they get fully involved with them? No. They may keep them over there because, baby mamas and all of that. Yes. But let's stop lying. Let's stop lying. You ain't everybody. I'm every woman. No, stop. Stop it. That's not what we're talking about. Make sure y'all, now that I got y'all in here, make sure y'all hit up my Facebook because I'm back live on Facebook. Let me cause the trouble on Facebook. So, I'm getting that Facebook popping. That's all that is. Just cut the cap and let's bring in context. Like at the end of the day, all these niggas that ain't doing what they doing for their kids, you bitches are still sucking on their dick. And half of you chicks are still fucking these niggas after you had kids with them. So cut the cap. Oh, well, you just ain't about being just mad. I'm just saying what is true. That's it. It's either true or not true. Man, y'all in here arguing about some young Dolph. There's plenty of like I mean, cool. Talk about what y'all want to talk about, but come on, man. That's why I'm gonna get into this trending news shit because y'all be wanting to talk about that shit. I'm about to get some of that money too. No, I'm gonna stay focused, but you know, it's time to augment. It's time to turn this into an actual channel. Trust me, I've been really deep diving into a lot of the greater black YouTubes on some Book of Eli shit. First of all, fuck all these channels that they use YouTube like World Star Hip Hop, which basically all they do is upload people's live streams. They upload, when I say live stream, I'm not even talking about YouTube. They upload live streams for Instagram, and they just upload a whole bunch of different people's live streams from Instagram. All they really do is download the live streams and re-upload them and upload clips. And these motherfuckers be having like 20, 30,000 subscribers. They basically use it like, and then what they'll do, the slicker ones is they'll put a brand over it. In fact, I may do a channel. I won't do that on this channel, but I may do that just to see that as a growth strategy. Shout out to Gold Professor. Appreciate it. Yeah, they do love, I don't call it the tea. We don't call it the tea with men. We're men. Even though I'm in the South and I do drink tea, we call it pouring the liquor. I don't give the tea. I don't spill the tea. Nigga, I pour the liquor. That's what I do. I pour the liquor. He was a known rapper, Ed. I'm not into hip hop like that, and I know him. R.I.P. Sad. They've been killing off these rappers lately since last year. It's too often very suspicious. They not Kareem. No. They ain't getting the conspiracy shit for me. These niggas are doing the most. Shout out to Freeman. Yeah, I've done that too. Like, dude, I didn't tell you. Y'all, I have not said that he ain't a big rapper. I said that I've been out of the game. You see how I held myself accountable? I've been told y'all I don't really listen to hip hop like the new shit like that. I don't like mumble rap. I held myself accountable, and y'all telling me that I shouldn't need to listen to hip hop to know that motherfucker. Well, I don't know what y'all do. Whatever. He said, nah, you at us. Yeah. No, not no, oh, well, it's a conspiracy. No, it's not. These motherfuckers are talking shit. And look, it may be that people doing stuff on the low. That's possible. But the truth is, I know how dumb these motherfuckers are. You're starting to see a regression. The black community has been regressing for a while. So it makes sense that black people will be on black men. Remember, a lot of these niggas can't read and write. So it makes sense these niggas will be on some I'm not gonna get past 25 bullshit, even though that dude's 36. Remember, the dude that just died got shot at 100 times, according to Soul Provider Speaks. So, I mean, what do you think is gonna happen eventually? Yeah, Shaq. I'm not going, man, what the fuck I look like? Talking, yeah, man. Oh, we're going to spill the tea. No, nigga, we're pouring the liquor. In this case, this is what these niggas are doing today. And trust and believe that my shit is going, when I say balance, my shit is going to be real and focused. It's going to be fun. 23 rappers died no, that's not suspicious to me. That's not. Because a lot of these rappers are putting out songs talking about that's why I killed Joe nigga. Da 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 da. I pissed on his grave. When you say stupid shit like that, shit happens. We're not even counting the dudes that are in prison. Hell, you have Floyd Mayweather's daughter on charges for stabbing NBA YoungBoy's baby mama. This why she was pregnant. These motherfuckers are doing the most right now. Marty McFly 600 subs so far, but CB19 put a dent in traveling for the time being. The music I just started putting up this week is getting me 50 hours watch time per week. What do you think? No, that's good. No, that's good. But what I'm saying, Mark, yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm not a YouTube expert. I'll say there's a lot there. Exactly, BGS. Rappers are in the light. And a lot of these rappers, even like it was true back in the day, but and then I think people kind of got away from that a little bit where shit got a lot more commercial. Now you're starting to, with this social media shit, a lot of these motherfuckers do really be still doing that shit for real. Now, it ain't no fucking Plazas or Rick Ross's no more. These motherfuckers are starting to go back to where they really rapping like what they living. So that makes sense. You would see that increase again. Now, Kareem 23 is a lot, but it depends on what level these rappers are in. There's a whole bunch of rappers out there. The laws, y'all niggas love that lost value system. I see how fast Crimson Cure getting all them niggas. See, man, it's about the lost value system. Yeah, Queen, yeah. The lost values. Just these niggas, they values, nigga. A lot of y'all absorbing that the wrong way. Now, what she's saying, she's putting down game for real. Yeah, nigga, yeah. Here's my Facebook. Here, I'll bring some of y'all on. See, y'all got something to say. I ain't even talk about that Rittenhouse shit because I'm really not trying to get into political shit right now. I'm really not. She does. I'm glad her channel's growing. She'll be at 50 pretty soon, probably by the end of the end of the year. See if y'all got something to say. Oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna mention this. I'm gonna keep that close to the chest. Dude's mad. Nobody wants to. I don't even know that dude. I don't. And there's other people that can probably comment on that better than I can. Shout out to Dartman60 for the $5 super chat. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App as well. No, I mean I get it because I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I was looking at with the baby, like there's a lot of views. There's like people want when these things break. If you can get in front of a lot of this stuff breaking, there is so much explosive growth. So I'm not beating y'all up for wanting to talk about the person. I don't know this person. I don't. Do y'all really want me to be talking about some shit? Do y'all really want me to talk about some shit that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about? And I can't give you the context that you used to getting from me? Or do you want me to send y'all somewhere that knows what the hell they talking about? That's disrespectful to y'all. Now, if y'all want to talk about it in the chat, I'm fucking around. Go ahead and talk about it in the chat. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying some shit because I don't know the nigga. The end. That's all I'm saying. That is the epitome of goofy for a nigga to be trying to cobble together some shit that he don't know what the fuck he talking about, what the insight. But no, that's disrespectful to people's time. Kareem says, I'm so hyped for Spider-Man. It looked like they might kill Zendaya. Boy, if they do Zendaya like they did the white girl, motherfuckers gonna be mad. I don't know why the Manosphere has no channel that breaks the news like Daz. There's a couple of people. I mean, technically Jada Black does it. It's a lot of people want to be here for the cause, but I'm about to get this. I'm about to get this money too. And there's ways that I can incorporate. There's ways that I can do that for growth, and then still stay true to what I am and what I'm trying to do. It's an evolution. Technically, my shit has always been like a vlog. Shout out to Justin Mark for the $2 for the $2 super sticker. So yeah, so it's time, make this fun. Shout out to Gold Professor with the additional $7 cash app. And this is not for me. Like, if I'm the type of person, if I can get this stuff really rolling, I'm a spread the wealth type of nigga when it comes to social media traffic. There's people that can speak on things a little bit better than I can. So I gotta, people in the back burner that I would do that. And not just all men, a couple of females too. Don't let me get to like 20, 25,000 because y'all got to understand, I got great engagement for my size of a channel. She going to get killed and die too if Dane does Doom right. Well, the thing about it is that doesn't happen until that doesn't happen until the second book, Kareem. How Rittenhouse is like a litmus test for how much control white progressives have over black thought. White dudes smokes other white dudes. Now online Blackistan can't stop talking about it. I mean, the thing about it is they got control over what the bitches are doing because they're funding them. But they're getting not as much of a return on investment on that. Because at the end of the day, you got to give black people some. If you want to control black people, you got to give them some wins. You can't just keep fucking black people over because then you have nothing that these people can kind of go to the bank with. So you make the people that are detractors right. No, I mean you can. No, it is a good call, and I'm not even thinking like as far as edges. Yes, I understand that. Well, this is what I'm telling you, gentlemen rated. What I am saying, this is what you have to understand. You know this more than I do if you're in the UK. These white boys, they Spider-Man, Superman, Spider-Man, and Bond are something they very much hold dear to. And I'm not saying this to cater to them, but this is the truth. The truth is you can make Idris Elba a 00. Make him a 006. Make him a 00. I'm not saying to not make him a 00. But if you want to make more movies with the Bond franchise, do the Bond and normal shit. Make him a 00 so you can do that on the off year. That way you don't put as much pressure to pump out these Bond movies. And then the person that plays Bond can do other stuff because that's what Daniel Craig was complaining about. The productions weren't on point like they should have been, and Daniel Craig couldn't do other stuff like he wanted. And that's why they had to give him a lot of money to come back for the last one, and he was done because they kind of fucked it up. They really fucked it up. And so if you make him another 00, you can write that character from scratch. The white boys are actually embrace it because it's not Bond, but it's in the universe. And then you can make it so you make it like an event where he has to team up with Bond or something. Make him a different 00. Like for instance, make it so that Idris Elba is a lot more physical. Like he's a lot more, physically imposing. Where he be manhandling people, not necessarily shooting people all the time. You can make them different. Make it so he's got to do some stuff in Africa or so like that. You can write and they will accept it because it's the same thing with Miles Morales. They accepted Miles Morales because that was a different character. Even though Miles Morales has a lot more powers than Spider-Man, they let that go because it wasn't. Once they realized it wasn't a replacement, they let that go. And I'm not saying you got to cater to them, but I also want this shit to be successful. I don't want them to say, "Oh, it didn't work" because they want to sabotage. No, don't do that. So you got to be smart. That's all I'm saying. Like fuck making Michael B. Jordan Superman. Make him Icon. Make him a young Icon or something. There's things you can do. That's what I'm saying. And then you bring Rocket in there, the black chick. I mean, if you want to do these things to make money, that's the way you make money. Y'all want these. Look, I'm not saying you can want that if you want that. I get why you would want that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what I would pitch. Because my thing is, that's what I would pitch. That's what I would pitch. Because you already got Money Penny over there. She's black. You already got stuff over there. And I'm going to keep it real with you. You do that, and then you make money, because Money Penny deals with all the 00s, not technically just Bond. Because, I always had these conversations about Bond's been gone for years and shit, and blah, blah, blah. Well, where's Bond at? We don't know. He may be dead, whatever. They could have did a thing where it's a team thing with Money Penny and Bond. So Money Penny's got to run in this other Bond, or because Idris Elba's age, you act like he's been doing it. And I mean, you could do that. That would play well, and people would be cool with that. That's how you do that. And again, these are just ideas. Kareem says, I hate gender and race swappers. Create a new character. I agree. Yes, I'm not always against gender or I'm not always against race swapping. Like Nick Fury, shout out to Gold Professor for the $5. Sean Connery in his old 007, they had the same energy that you speak of, Ed. He rarely used a gun or a knife. Go exactly. And and I'm not so much against, I'm not hardcore against it, but my thing is it needs to make sense. It needs to make sense. Like Moneypenny, that could work because it wasn't just that they swapped Moneypenny. They kind of swapped her origin as well, to where she was just somebody got a desk job because something happened in the field. She shot something. She may have fucked up a mission, whatever. And so you led like streams to where other storylines you can do in movies. See, that shit would have been a lot more accepted. I'm not saying she should have been a 00, but that shit would have been a lot more accepted than bringing that other black female into it, because she was already there. What they did with Nick Fury worked well, and people forget they gender swap. They did that at first with the Ultimate Universe, and before they consulted with Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson said, just, I'm interested in doing this here in these movies rather than you talk about taking my likeness, and they went along with it. So there's times where that can make sense. There's times where it can make sense, like doing what they did with Aquaman worked. There's times when this stuff can make sense, but generally with the big characters, I would generally err away from that and say just make another character. Just make another character. Like what they did with I'm a big fan of the Young Justice TV show. Like with Batgirl, what they did with the other Batgirls. They just, they added other characters. And I think a lot of times they do it political. And as far as gender swapping, I'm more gender swapping. It can make sense sometimes too, sometimes, but yeah, but that's rare, more rare than doing it racially. That's probably Israel. That's probably one of the best examples of gender swapping where that worked. When M was great, and then when they brought back the dude, it worked. But M was great because that created a great dynamic between Pierce Brosnan's James Bond, and it worked. And then you saw a lot of the pressure she was under, not because she was a woman, but because of what that job holds, and it worked. So but these people get paid too much money. It's too many ideas that they put out there for them not to notice. Usually, what they doing, Hollywood is like 70% money, 30% propaganda. So you have to understand they'll take the hit on the money for other stuff. Yeah, I was mad about that. I was mad as fuck about that because and they was full of shit because in the comic, like the comic that leads into that season, like I think it's the second or third season. Yo, the third season, Aqua Girl died. So we know he was fucking with bitches. So that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Don't get me started on that shit. That's straight bullshit. I hear you, Young Jay. Absolutely. Absolutely, Young Jay. But my point is, it's not about me care. You make it sound like I'm trying to cater to white folks. I really don't want to see no black Superman. I really don't. I'm gonna keep that real. I wouldn't be. I'd be cool. I'd be cool with seeing Idris Elba as James Bond. I'd be real cool with that. I don't want to see no black Superman though. I just don't. I'd be cool with seeing Miles Morales movie. Absolutely, I'd be cool. I don't want to see no Black Superman. I just don't. I don't know why y'all got this need. Why y'all want to see a nigga Superman? For what? Like, really? For what? I'd rather them try to do Icon or some shit like that. You would think they would try to do a Static Shock movie. I don't know what you think you gonna get out of a You see how these white folks were with Man. I love Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. I was a big fan of Man of Steel. I was a big fan of Henry Cavill's Superman. I was a big fan of what they did with it in Man of Steel. And that kind of got stupid with Batman v Superman and all of that. But a lot of these white folks lost their mind over that. Because they didn't know Superman doesn't kill. I love what they did with Zod. I love the background with Russell Crowe. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't completely against what they did with Krypton on Sci-Fi. Them white folks, man, that was the shit. Them white folks lost their mind over that. And them bitches too lost their mind over that. So it's not just race. It's not always just race. Now, trust me, you know me. I'll tell you. If it's that bullshit, I'll tell you it's that bullshit. I'm not, I ain't afraid to tell no white folks to shut the fuck up and chill the fuck out. I'm not scared to do that. But what I'm not gonna always do is always jump to that like first. I'll give them a little bit of breathing room. Just like everybody mad that they not recasting T'Challa. I don't really feel like, why do you feel he needs to be recast? Black Lightning portrayal is always on some simp bullshit. They did that in Young Justice. They did that in the show. It's always on, like, Black Lightning is a perfect example of a fucking character in a gynocracy. The thing about it is they were doing a different type of Superman, and they were leading up to the inspirational part. A lot of these motherfuckers were sitting there and crying. Oh, like, that's whatever. You got those movies. They were leading up to that. They were leading up to that because he was going to be that Superman once he came back from death. But see, the problem is DC don't never had a shit in order, so they can't never really stay the fucking course. That's the problem. Just like how they tried to make Metropolis and Gotham right next to each other, that shit was dumb as fuck. That shit was like, don't get me started on this shit. CW is trash, but CW is kind of like a guilty pleasure. But I used to watch CW a lot more than I do now. I've really kind of weaned myself away from CW. Now I just watch them. I binge them on Netflix. I don't agree that DC is trash. I don't agree with that. They are making him a maggle. Nigga thanking his ex-wife for letting him see his daughters. I'm like, this shit is such bullshit. But then he talk all that shit to Batman. Batman Inc. I'm like, nigga, fuck you. You try to act like you got some nuts now with me, nigga. Then talk about you need a better mentor than me. When he said the Static Shock, nigga, then that nigga fell in love with that fucking Eastern European bitch, played his ass. I'm like, you nigga, you just doing all the fucking nigga stereotypes, huh? Well, I'm talking about like the live shows. I ain't talking about like the early. Y'all talking about some Saturday night cartoon shit. I don't know. Blue Beetle don't need no movie. I don't know how they gonna do the X-Men shit. I really don't. I mean, they need to go ahead and do Cyclops right. They need to do Rogue right. But I don't know how they gonna do it. I think they waiting on that. They got this multiverse shit. They sitting on the X-Men. Yeah, X-Men doesn't have a rights issue. Disney owns X-Men. Disney owns X-Men. Marvel owns X-Men. Batman and Superman. Batman v Superman was all right. Batman, but now you got to watch all the director's cuts. See, now I need to sit one day and just watch the director's cuts because you got all these different cuts and shit. Anyway, it's nice to see y'all got some interest in all this stuff. I'm looking at paying attention if my numbers are holding. That Cloak and Dagger TV show was actually really good, but that shit was never gonna last. Ain't nobody gonna watch no shit with no black dude and no white girl having a that ain't gonna work. I wouldn't say it was garbage. The problem is the shit never came together. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to let y'all go. All right, I'm about to let y'all go. So it's been great. So with that being said, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. DC does have a niche with the villain movies. They do have a niche with the villain movies. You could legit do a legit Deathstroke movie. There's a lot of villains they could do. I do think they need to do that. I think they're working on a Penguin movie because they need to give Batman and Superman they need to give that shit a break. Let that shit rebuild. They need to like do some fucking a cartoon or something. I heard they're bringing back X Men the animated series, which will be interesting, being the Marvel MCU. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, and these are movies that can be done inexpensively. Like a Harvey Dent movie doesn't require CGI. It really doesn't. Like really, you could do the mask. A Penguin movie doesn't require that. Hell, do a Catwoman the right way movie. Do an environmental terrorist. Boy, there's ways to do these movies, yo. And these movies wouldn't even require that much effort, especially now where you can't really guarantee a lot of box office with COVID. Yeah, it was, but that Joker movie hit because of a lot of different reasons. Because a lot, yeah, that was kind of lightning in a bottle. No, Kathleen Kennedy runs Star Wars, sir. Freeman. Kathleen Kennedy runs Star Wars. Fun fact: Kathleen Kennedy was executive producer of Color Purple. X Men is under Marvel. Kevin Feige controls the X Men. Not yeah, yeah. Riddler can't really run his own movie though. All right, y'all. Like I said, this has been great. Like I said, check out my Facebook. In that, go to my link tree in my about section. Check out my Facebook. And yeah, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.